Hello everybody, welcome back to the Farming Simulator 25 map guide. Today we're going to take a look at Calm Lands. But before that, this video is brought to you by Greg Musin and Nuka-Cola. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Calm Lands map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu. And as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Now this is a wilderness map, and as such, it is typically going to be a smaller file size than standard maps. The map itself is going to be 126 megabytes in size. Now this map also does have 3 required mods. Those required mods are the placeable ramp, low-cost grain silo, and the old storage shed. Combining the required mods and the map itself, we're looking at needing a total disk storage of 141 megabytes. Now, let me read you some of the description. Calm Lands is a map of unknown location. In it, you'll find a winding terrain with several forests and many hectares of uncultivated land. Accept the challenge of farming and designing your own land, creating your spaces to raise up your cattle, and create a beautiful landscape around your production buildings. Ahead, Calm Lands awaits you. This map has 100% been prepared for a build-your-own file style farm gameplay with respect to buildings and fields. Sales area where you can sell all of your generated products. More on that in a little bit. Edited license plates. All ground textures from the base game are available to customize your game, and all kinds of trees and bushes to place as well. Now let's go back here to the game and let's pull up the PDA. So we start here at Farmland ID 43. And that's going to be able to be purchased in any game mode where we select to not own the farm for $157,770. And it's approximately 6.86 hectares in size. You're going to see the map is laid out in a grid of either rectangle or square plots of land. And basically we can purchase nearly the entirety of the map in either rectangles or squares. We do have all our standard crops available to us in Farm Sim 25 on this map. And if we toggle over here to our farmland, well, you can see that typically we're looking at $193,000 to $190,000 for our rectangle plots. And most rectangle plots are about 8 hectares in size. And then our square plots of land are going to be about 4.1 hectares. Here we've got a smaller one because of the river. And the square ones are going to come in at a cost of approximately $95,000. We've got some smaller ones over here to our east that are looking to be about $65,000. Now, the description calls out a bunch of forests. And I would say that this is a lightly forested map. These really aren't that big of forests. So I don't think you're going to be doing super heavy forestry unless you're going to go and put your own trees down. We take a look at our crop counter. We do have the standard FS25 crop counter available to us on this map. We do start out with some cows. We have 8 in total, 4 18-month-old, 2 6-month-old, and 2 newborns here on our starting farm. We do have contracts, but don't expect agricultural contracts because really we don't have any fields on this map. At least no fields that are AI owned. So we're going to have deadwood contracts, rock removal contracts, and most likely tree transport contracts. We do not have any production chains pre-placed, so therefore there are none available to purchase, nor are there any owned at the start. That also includes the fact that we do not have a biogas plant on this map pre-placed. With respect to collectibles, we do not have any collectibles on this map. And if we look at our sell points, well, we do have sell points. And I've counted approximately 4 different sell points on this map. But if we come back up here to our PDA, you're going to see this map does not have any sell point hotspots. So what we would typically see would be tip stations and loading stations and an animal icon for our animal buy point. But we don't have any of those here on this map. Now, we'll tell you pretty much all of the sell points are located right here. It's just there's no hotspots. And as a byproduct, we do not have the ability to tag the location. So if we select to tag the location, come back here, you're going to see there is nothing to blink because there's no hotspot pre-placed on the map. I do hope that we will see a update to include those, because this really threw me initially when I was kind of scouting the map out. I thought maybe somehow I had turned things off, or I had gone in here into my settings and selected to not show interactive markers. But you can clearly see they are turned on, yet we do not have any hotspots. So I would expect your experience to be very similar to mine here. And as such, well, I will point out where certain sell points are. I don't necessarily know which sell point is named what, because again, we don't have those hotspots to lean on, but I can tell you that they're all over here in this grove of trees just to the west of our starting farm. Now, as far as our starting vehicles, if we do elect to have a starting farm, then we'll also have some starting vehicles. And to that end, we'll have the Agrimaz POV 5XL plow, the Albert pallet fork, the Universal bucket, the Brandner Z18051/2 trailer, Dudesfar AgroStar 831 tractor with a Horsch Credo 3 power harrow, and the Horsch Versa seeder. And these are typically used in combination with each other. We have a Hauer XB 150 front loader arms. We have the John Deere 3650 tractor, as well as the 900 kilogram front weight from John Deere. And we have our Massey Ferguson 8570 harvester and harvester header. And then we've got a 450 kilogram front weight. We also happen to have a Husqvarna chainsaw already in our possession when we load into the map for the very first time. Now, as far as the farm goes here, we can sell everything on the farmland, including our farmhouse, even with Walter being here. We have our wardrobe trigger, we have our sleep trigger, but if we do sell this farmhouse, Walter is going to be levitating because he's currently standing on top of a platform. What that means is I'm not sure if you're going to be able to place another building down around Walter, because of the fact that he stays here the whole time and he may be blocking placements of additional buildings. Our cow pasture is mounted up here on this hillside. We do have Russ the dog. That's right, I've named the dog Russ. If you don't like it, oh well. We have bale and pallet storage over here. This is going to be set up for 550 bales or pallets. And at the windmill, we do have a water buy point, or a water pickup point. We have our farm silo right here with our dump and fill points. We have our placeable ramp located right here to load and unload things from a flatbed trailer. We have our animal points here. So we have a total of 54 cows in this pasture. We have our food trough, our bale trigger, and our water trigger. And then we've got a small shed over here for additional storage. And that's pretty much the main starting farm location right here. Now let's jump into our vehicle shop, because I just want to take a quick look and see. We do not have any custom vehicles or implements with this map. And if we jump into build mode, well, since we do have those required mods, we are going to find some mods in our build mode. For example, the old shed pack is going to have some sheds. It's going to have some silos here with our silo mod. And then we have our ramps under tools. We have all standard factories. And then we have our animal pens. And with respect to our painting textures, you can see we've got a vast array of painting textures available to us. Nice listing of trees, fairly standard trees. Then we have our plants and shrubbery. Now I want to take to the skies a little bit, and we'll pull up the PDA. Now, one of the big downsides to wilderness maps is really knowing where the property lines are. And I've had suggestions in the past, and ideas, but I don't know how well they would be implemented, would be to kind of put stakes at the corners of these property lines so you kind of had a clue of where your property ended. So if you had little stakes here at each corner, and maybe once you purchased some land, those stakes went away. So that's kind of one of the biggest issues that I have with kind of property lines. But we can see that our field here, which is field 43, or field 1 here on farmland ID 43, this is basically going horizontal to the lower portion of the land that we own. And I would say that the northern portion of the land that we own is probably right here running along the fence line. If we make our way over here to the west, to where we're going to find all of these sell points, you're going to find the animal dealer is located right here. Right? And then we have Kate. Kate doesn't have, or Kate has a hotspot, but the animal dealer does not. We have what I'm going to call the milk sell point located right here. And I'm just going to pull up F5, which is going to show us the triggers. So we have a trigger right here for a sell point. I'm going to call this the dairy because we have a tank there. Okay. And here you can see the animal dealer. And we have two sell points located right here. This one, we have potatoes, we have sugar beets, we have sugar cane, we have sugar beet cut for that sell point. And then down the road here, down the row, we have then another sell point. And this is going to be for what looks like grass, hay, grapes, and olives. Okay. Now we don't know which sell point is what because I can't make these blink. We have what I'm going to call the grain sell point located right here at the silo. We have our fuel point right here at Ducky's. Pretty obvious there. We have our, what should be our dealer trigger located right here. And what should be our dealer maintenance trigger located right here at the door. But if we come over here to this, you're going to see we never get a pop-up in the F1 menu. We hit R, nothing ever comes up. So while I think the maintenance trigger is here, I don't know of any way to actually activate it, which is a bit of a shame. Now, as far as our vehicle dealer, we do have the vehicle dealer trigger. It's right here at the door by Axel's trailer and storage. And here we can go ahead and purchase something. And we'll basically see where our vehicles spawn. Right here beside the dealer trigger. And that's pretty much where all the sell points are that I'm aware of on this map. Because the rest of this map, well, as you can see, it's rolling hills of grass, sprinkled in by the occasional clump of trees. And that's at the heart what a wilderness map is. It's up to you to buy the land, carve up the fields, level the land, build whatever you want, wherever you want, and completely design your own area. Really, that's pretty much all we have going on over here. There is in the northwest, farmland 91, a flat area that's been set up kind of as a building site. So this could be a secondary farm location. This could be where you maybe put your production, maybe your sawmill, your BGA, whatever. We do have a couple river crossings. And this, I did not even see this in my initial reconnaissance, I'll admit, of this map. But we've got what appears to be the farmer's market Right, we've got our dump point here for our production. We have our dump point there for our grain, possibly. But again, we don't have hotspots, which really is a deterrent, kind of maybe from playing this map until we do have hotspots. But overall, that is Calm Lands. This was a fairly popular map in Farm Sim 22. Wilderness style maps are rather popular in any iteration of Farm Sim since the initial inception of wilderness maps way back in Farm Sim 19. I'd love to know what your all's thoughts and comments are down below. And until next time, happy farming.